What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I'll be doing a technical analysis breakdown for Ageas. I think that's how you pronounce it. A Belgian insurance company with the ticker symbol AGS. This was a request from one of the viewers, and thank you for your donation. This was a international viewer from Belgium, so that's pretty cool. And shout out to my Europe or international viewers. Thank you for. Before we begin, please take a second to give the video a like and subscribe for more chart analysis. I appreciate all those who have already subscribed and liked my videos. Just a reminder that this video is for entertainment purposes only. It does not constitute any financial advice. We will start out the technical analysis by going over what I see on the daily chart and potential price targets. Then we will take a quick look on the weekly chart to wrap it all up. So this daily chart is very easy to analyze because we have an uptrend and then there was a downtrend. After we had this double top, that's when price started to reverse. So as you can see here, prices were making higher highs and higher lows. We were being supported by the EMA. That's a telltale sign we're in an uptrend. And then right when we had this double top, prices gapped down, see this huge gap, and then broke below the EMA. And then we started finding resistance at the lower side of the EMA. Now see, every time we come to the EMA, we find resistance. So that's not a good sign. So we're in a downtrend here, and previously we're in an uptrend. Even though we did break below the EMA right here in early January, early this year, late January, prices like thrusted above it very quickly, right? Prices weren't below it for a long time. It immediately just rocketed up above the EMA and found support. Unlike here where we shot through the EMA, came back and tested the lower side of the EMA and found resistance. So that's pretty much a change of pattern. So we're not in an uptrend anymore. We're making lower lows, lower highs. So we're in a downtrend. So where is this downtrend going to end, and where's the prices going? So a downtrend ends when we have a break outside of a channel. So this looks like it's the channel in play right now, the longer term channel. So if I just mark the chart up right there, this looks like it fits pretty well. The midline is acting as support and resistance. So it looks like this is the channel in play. So when we get something like this, a break outside and a move to a new low or a retest of this low, that's when we know we could get reversal in the future. So like an uptrend, or at least we know that the selling has temporarily stopped. So in the short term, it looks like we are going to pull back, possibly to fill in this gap right here. And then we could probably find some resistance at the EMA or this resistance side of the channel, or possibly this time we could break it and move to a new low, and that could mark the end of this downtrend, temporary until maybe a new downtrend starts. But that would mean that would be more of a bullish sign than instead of right now we're still inside of this yellow channel. So I'm going to use a tool that shows me where prices are most likely headed, since price action moves in twos. So this was the first leg down. If I were to use a line chart, you would just see a single line down instead of these candle bars, and then you would see a line up and then a little line down and then a line up. So that's a two-legged correction. So that's pretty much the center of the pattern. And if I just drag this right here where the downtrend continued, it looks like the target that price wants to reach is at $35 level. So that's pretty much where the algorithm or people or the professional traders are looking to exit the positions. They look for these measured moves because pretty much it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? If everyone else thinks this is where prices are going to bounce, this is where they'll get out of. So normally we'll probably reach this target. We might come up short or we might exceed it, but this is a target that looks like prices want to reach. So we could get that break outside and then move to a new low right at this target, and that would be a pretty good sign for the bulls. We just gotta wait and see. So that's pretty much everything on the daily chart. We were in an uptrend, and then right around May, that's when we had that double top, and then we sold off. Let me see if I can show you guys the uptrend channel. So it looks like there was a spike up and then a channel. So this is the spike, and then prices pretty much went in a flatter channel, maybe something like this. Let me show you guys. So that fits pretty good right there. We just never got that breakout side of the channel and a retest of the highs. We just gapped right through it. Or this channel could be incorrectly drawn, but whatever fits the price action the closest. So it looks like pretty much we're getting a lot of bounces on the lower side and on the higher side, and the midline is acting as resistance. So I believe this channel is correctly drawn. Maybe sometimes we just don't get that retest. See how we just broke right through the channel and we didn't get something like this. So it's not guaranteed, but most of the time you will see it 90% of the time. Even on the smaller channels or any size channel, you probably see it. So let me show you guys that for a second. So look at a channel like this. See how we had several bars inside of this one, and then we had a break outside and then move to a new high, and then prices sold off. I can show you guys numerous times. There was a channel right here, and then prices corrected down, and then finally just took maybe about a few months, we made that new high. So it happens on these micro channels, but on this one we had that double top. There must have been a major pattern in play. That's why we found resistance right here and sold off, and I'm gonna show you guys that on the weekly chart, because there is heavy selling at this level, so that's why we cannot get that retest of that high. So that's pretty much everything I see on the daily chart. It looks like we're gonna continue lower, and in the short term we might have a slight pullback or even a break outside this channel, but I still see selling in the future right around this target. I mean, that doesn't mean we're gonna stop right here and reverse, but this is the next target that I see prices trying to reach. So let's go ahead and take a look at the weekly chart. So here we have the weekly chart, and like I said on the daily chart, why we did not receive that new high in place after we got a break outside of the channel is because this major resistance level right around this $53-$55 level, last time we came here we had a huge sell-off. So pretty much everyone was looking at that, all the professional traders, all the banks, they were looking at this level, and look at what we got. We pretty much got a large sell-off. So pretty much if you expect, if prices come back to a level where there's a lot of buying, you can expect there to be a lot of buying, right? And if there's a lot of selling at this level, you can expect a lot of selling. That's usually how it works, and that's exactly what happened. We got a lot of selling at this level. I mean, usually we could have broken it, but this time it was the sellers came in and the buyers stepped out of the market. So this is the downtrend channel that I see and we're still inside of. We're kind of getting very far away from the EMA, so that's why I still expect a reversal coming soon, a correction back up, and especially because this bar looks pretty bullish right now. But you can't just make a trading decision based off of one bar. You need to take everything into context, such as the trend, any patterns or any traps, or not just a single bar, right? So this bar looks good, but I mean, even the next week we can just continue lower. But as of right now, it looks like we could see that reversal, and it would make sense, especially because we would come back to test the level, because this was a breakout level. Price action likes to test these breakout levels out of this range. Pretty much we're going sideways right here, and then we were in the upper side of the range, and then we broke out. So right here prices did not come back to test it. Usually a breakout, we get something like this and then a continuation higher. So we didn't come back to test this level, so it looks like price action wants to come back to test this level, and that's where a lot of buying is. So we could see a big bounce from right here. It's not guaranteed, but it could happen. Or we could fall back inside of this range and then continue lower, something like that. But we just gotta wait and see. Like I said, my first target was right around, I believe it was that $35 level on the daily chart, and then we'll see if we find support or resistance over there, and then we'll go from there. But that's pretty much everything I see on the daily and weekly chart, and this was the previous uptrend right around here. There was a spike and then a flatter channel right there, so I'm gonna show you guys that right now. So this was the channel I was talking about. Let me just drag this up. So as you can see here, this orange channel was an uptrend, and then we had a break outside back in 2020, and then almost a new high in place. They tried to make that new high, but then prices sold off. It was too weak. So that's a retest, pretty much a very large double top, kind of like a little M. See how it goes up and then down and then up again and then down. So that's pretty much a double top pattern, a M formation. I mean, you can't take a short just because you see this about to happen, because we could have just trended higher, but it looks like prices found resistance and sold off. So that's pretty much everything I see on the daily and weekly chart. We're probably gonna see a slight correction on the daily chart, maybe move back up to that, maybe the low 40s, mid 40s, and then from there we'll probably see more selling just to retest the low or reach that measure move. And then from there, I mean, anything can happen. Are we gonna find some support here and continue higher, or are we gonna find resistance and continue lower? That's just very hard to tell, but that's pretty much my analysis in the coming weeks and months. I mean, if I zoom out on this chart, I mean, it's pretty bad because there was a huge crash back in 08 and the price never recovered. This company never recovered. Maybe they are making more money, maybe they aren't, but as of right now, it looks like the technicals are telling me that they did not recover, and it's pretty much been in this kind of like a very weak uptrend for a long time. I mean, pretty much a decade or more. So I mean, I would not buy a company like this. I mean, it's insurance. I mean, that's kind of a hit and miss company, right? Sometimes they can make a lot of money, sometimes they couldn't. That's just my personal opinion. You know, I would just stick with things that are on the internet, more internet based, such as, you know, like e-commerce, or even like a streaming service such as music or videos, something like that. I believe that's more sound and future proof. So that's pretty much my opinion on this company and my technical analysis. So if the viewer has any more questions or anybody else, please leave in the comments down below and I will answer them. So thank you for stopping by and checking out my video. Make sure to check out the rest of the channel since you might be surprised on what you can learn. Leave a comment down below where you think prices are headed. Also share the video if you want your friends to learn about the markets. Lastly, I appreciate any feedback to help improve the channel since I want to deliver great content to you guys. See you next time and bye.